Hello and welcome. Over the next few minutes I will give you an overview of the Bachelor of Communication. So I will talk about its structure, about the interesting things you will do in this degree, and I will highlight some of its unique points. So let's start. So first, a quick survey. So in your view, what are the top strengths employers look for? Leadership skills, organizational skills, social media skills, website building, communication skills, or watching TikTok videos at work. If you chose communication skills, you're right. But guess what? If you chose any of the other options, except for F, obviously, that would be also okay, because there are also important strengths and there are skills that you will also develop if you chose to study in the Bachelor of Communication. So yes, if you do a general search on the internet asking what are the top strengths employers look for, you pretty much consistently get this. So yes, effective communication skills are the top of employers' lists of the most valuable skills. A Bachelor of Communication will develop these skills and will prepare you for a career in the communication industry. So let's have a look at what the BC offers. First, let's have a look at the overall Bachelor of Communication structure. So here's the table of the overview. So first of all, let's talk about the core in white. So the core contains 7 papers which you will have to take. So these papers cover introductions to specific important areas of communication studies. For example, Comms 103 focuses on organizational communication, Comms 102 on the impacts of electronically mediated communication on our lives, such as social media, how it influences our identity, our behavior, etc. You also have papers on communication ethics, intercultural communication, and then in the third year you have a work integrated paper for which you can do an internship. So in yellow outside the core, you can focus on a particular subject called a major. That's 9 papers in the same subject. We'll see the range of majors next. So you can do a BC focusing on 1 or 2 majors. The slide shows you the BC with a single major. So if you decide to take a single major, then you can also do a minor with it, which is 4 papers in the same field, or you can choose electives from any subject across the university. For example, you may want to take a language, French for example, or anything that interests you. If you take a double major, each major will have 8 papers. So there are 5 majors to choose from in the Bachelor of Communication, and these are public relations, marketing, creative media, media production, and applied digital communication. You can take minors from any subject, almost any subject. Some minors that are a good fit and that are popular in the BC on the slide here. And you can take elective papers from almost any subject across the university. So let's talk about the various majors on offer in turn. So first, public relations, the first public relations major. So public relations is about building relationships with publics. It's about helping organizations frame messages so they are positively received by the public. So you may have heard that some people are afraid of being vaccinated against COVID at the moment, right? So many governments across the world have actually launched public relations campaigns to try to convince people they should be vaccinated. So these campaigns, so they will involve a lot of decisions about whether you should use rational arguments or emotional appeals, as they're called. For example, fear appeals or humor appeals. Then you have to decide on message source, whether you need to use a famous spokesperson, for example. Then you have to make decisions on which communication channels should be used, whether you should use social media or more traditional media. So this campaign in the UK, for example, uses humor appeals as, for example, using social media. So that's really interesting work. So here are the papers you will do in the PR major. So public relations professional work in areas such crisis management, government relations, investor relations, events management, fundraising, employee relations, sponsorship. All these areas are covered in the PR major. One important thing to note about the PR major, as it is unique to us here at the University of Waikato, is that our PR program is the only one in New Zealand and one of only 4 outside of the United States whose public relations program is certified by the Public Relations Society of America. This is the PR professional organizations in the US. They come and assess our program every 4 years. So what does this mean? Well, basically, this is the guarantee of a world-class public relations program because PRSA sets the gold standard for PR education. So this provides you and us with an edge. And this will help you when you graduate, as you will be able to highlight this accreditation on your CV to stand out from the rest. So this kind of accreditation also allows you to find jobs more easily overseas since your program is certified by an international body. Another thing to note, when you study communication at Waikato, especially public relations, you are given opportunities to network with practitioners through MCSA. MCSA is the Management Communication Students Association. So as a student in the BC, you can become a member of MCSA, which will provide you with opportunities to meet professionals in the industry, visit workplaces, and make professional connections while studying. Something important, MCSA is affiliated with PRINZ, the Public Relations Institute of New Zealand. So when you join MCSA, you can join PRINZ for a discounted fee, $20, which is very cheap. And then you can network with New Zealand PR professionals, go to their events, which are attended by influential people from the industry. So this has helped a lot of our students get jobs. The next major I want to talk about is marketing. So most of you know what marketing is about. Marketing is about designing campaigns to attract customers to purchase products or services. So marketers also work on developing brands, they work on developing functional benefits, emotional benefits, self-expressive benefits, social benefits for brands. You'll see that if you study it. So in that major, you study consumer behavior, which is understanding what makes consumer tick, what makes them want to buy products. You learn about market research, which is trying to find out whether there is a market for a particular product or service. You learn about selling, face-to-face contact that is still needed and valued by various parties in marketing. You learn about how to design social media campaigns to sell products or services. So as you can see on the slide, the papers offered in the marketing major cover all these things. The next major is the creative media major. So the creative media major is for you if you like the creative side of communication, if you like creating messages for media. This major teaches you in depth about meaning making across a variety of settings and platforms. So you'll learn how to use text, image, sound, and how they should work together to create coherent, powerful communication. So what will you learn? You will learn about design thinking, the grammar of moving image, the meanings of sound, audience reception, storytelling, amongst other things. So it's for creative media thinkers, for students who like creative communication work and problem solving across different mediums and platforms. Then you have the media production major. So this major is about execution. So it is for people who like to execute ideas. For example, executing someone else's creative ideas. It's a practical major geared towards the mechanics of producing media. So you learn how to deliver production of media messages. So it covers production methods from pre-production to post-production, so the editing process and so on. So it looks at how to make images, text, and sound work together in a studio. So you learn to work in a range of production settings such as films, documentaries, podcasting, game design, sound design. Finally, there is the Applied Digital Communication major. So this is for people who are interested in developing computer skills in web design. So the major focuses on the design of communication in digital environment on the web. So here you see the range of papers offered in this major. You learn how to effectively put things together online, build good websites. You learn to understand and address users' needs in a digital environment, so usability online. So, have you been following me? So let's see. Here's a question for you. Which Bachelor of Communication major teaches you how to plan and implement communication campaigns to build reputation and trustworthy relationship with the public? Is it the marketing major, the creative media major, public relations major, Instagram major, or the media production major? That was an easy question. That was the public relations major. So what will you do in the Bachelor of Communication papers? Here I've compiled a non-exhaustive list of some of the things you will do when you study towards a Bachelor of Communication. So you will develop public relations campaigns, you develop marketing campaigns, you'll learn to write news items, you'll design social media messages for organization, you'll design, plan, and implement your own events. So in the event paper, for example, you work for an organization, design, implement an event for them. This is a real exercise. Here are a few more examples here. Build websites, obviously, simulate conflict situations, etc. So where will your Bachelor of Communication lead you? The Bachelor of Communication will teach you skills for many different careers in the communication industry. So these are the kind of roles, jobs the Bachelor of Communication will prepare you for. These are just a few. So it's up to you to focus on what you like doing, and during your Bachelor of Communication and choose in terms of majors, minors, electives. So it leads you to something you may want to do as a job when you finish your studies. Finally, just a few words to say that our students find jobs in all sorts of organizations, from small advertising agencies to big corporations to government departments, public relations firms, design studios, and so on. So this is just a very small sample of these organizations here for which we have our students working for. We also have a large number of very high-profile alumni who have come out with a Bachelor of Communication at Waikato, so working as partner in Boston Consulting Group, for example, in New York, TV broadcasters, directors of PR agencies, gaming agencies. So many have got jobs, which brings me to one question here. Which Prime Minister studied towards a Bachelor of Communication at the University of Waikato? Was it John Key, Helen Clark, Matt Bolger, Todd Harper, or Jacinda Ardern? If you've chosen E, that was right. That was Jacinda Ardern. So this ends my presentation. I hope it has been informative and has made you want to join us to study towards a Bachelor of Communication at Waikato. Do not hesitate to ask for information, and we hope to see you in the future. Thank you for your attention.